Hello, hello. This is Yusuf G. I'm making this video because I've received probably like 5 postcards within like the last 30 days. Yeah, about five or so postcards. You guys have a mail campaign going on, which is cool, which is fine, right? But is that the right thing for you guys to be doing? Okay. Now, I live in Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, in Fort Worth, South Fort Worth. And I'm assuming that you are trying to get clients or you just open up shop down there and you're trying to build a customer base, right? Because that's the only thing I can think of. Why would a company in Louisville, Kentucky be sending people in Dallas postcards unless you're trying to build a customer base down there? Now, I'm just going to assume that you already have an office down here or are in the process of establishing an office. Okay. And I'm gonna help you with this because again, my name is Yusuf Graham. I have a pretty recommendable um, online digital marketing agency in this area. Okay, I work with a lot of local contractors, not just in this state, not just in this city, but other states across the USA. Okay. So, with that said, when anybody is looking for a service that you offer or you provide, they're going to do one of two things. Option A, let's say you painted this red room right here. Someone visits this red room and say, "Wow, who did this?" Well, you need to call these guys and they're going to recommend you to them, right? Option B, what most people do is they'll get on their phone and they will use the number one website in the United States of America, and that's Google. Okay, that is Google. And whenever they do that, they are doing this. They're like house painting, right? They'll type in a house painting contractor, and here's the kicker: it's these businesses in these top three map listings that get 70% of the traffic. Now, for a brick and mortar business, that means the walk-ins. For a phone-driven business like you and I, that means phone calls. Okay, 74% of them are going to look at least 5 reviews. Obviously, James has the most reviews and they only have 3, but they're probably going to get the first phone call. So, since you are based in Kentucky and you do plan on doing business down here, anytime you want to do that, you have to establish a new GMB. This is a GMB. This is one of your most valuable assets that you have on the internet. Okay? It really is. Just for the simple fact that when it does rank in those top 3 spots, you will be getting 70% of the traffic. 70%. So if you want to do business down here in Fort Worth, it would be wise to set up. It doesn't matter what address you use, as long as you have an address based in that city. So you want to start ranking and you want to start getting calls for painting services in Fort Worth. You need to have a GMB set up in Fort Worth. Same for Dallas. You want a GMB or you want to start getting calls in Dallas, you got to have a map listing in Dallas. All these people have map listings in Dallas, right? Same thing for Grand Prairie or Flower Mounds or Denton or McKinney, any town. If you want to rank or generate calls in that city, you've got to have a GMB in that city, okay? Not a lot of people know this, but I've been doing this for almost over a decade, right? That's a long time in this type of space. I've seen all the different changes with Google and all this stuff. Okay, so that map listing, I mean, you guys are your map listing is based out of Kentucky, but you're trying to rank in Dallas. It won't work like that. Maybe if you had a separate page saying like, and it said like locations, you had a locations page, and maybe you had like one that said Dallas, and then it's connected to a Dallas address with that Dallas GMB and that Dallas phone number. That's another thing. Anytime you set up a new map listing, let's say you set up one in Fort Worth, you got to use a different phone number. You cannot use the same phone number, right? I noticed that you guys have the same phone number on these postcards. The 502-907. Well, it's the same one on your, okay, no. Oh, it's a different one. Okay, awesome. So yeah, always change the phone number whenever you are doing different types of marketing campaigns. Like if you were to use a billboard on the side of a highway, you got to use a different tracking number. If you're doing business cards, a different tracking number, right? So, so this is a GMB map listing in Louisville, in your home city, right? So I took this map listing, put it through a heat map tool. And what this shows is everywhere you are and are not ranking. Now, in this little area right here, when someone searches for a painting contractor, you will become number 2 in that map listing spot. The first one will be Joseph Zoeller, then you guys, and then Patterson, right? We click on Mr. Zoeller's painting, and as you can see, they are ranking in a little bit more areas, right? And this is going to change throughout the city or throughout in different areas. When someone searches for a painting contractor, they're going to get different results. Let's click over here by Asheville. Now they got Andy Kuntz. So Andy is like one of the top dogs in this southeast part of town, right? Let me just show you examples from my own city in my own uh, stuff that I got going on over here. So this is, Fort Worth Drywall Solutions. They do painting and, drywall. This is just one map listing, right? And we dominate the whole southwest part of town. This is one map listing. This isn't the other ones we had to set up for these other sides of town. Okay. So the goal is to get one GMB to rank. So like if someone said over, like is over here and they search for drywall and painting, right? They're going to see us. They're going to see us. And I have another one down here, right? What does this do? It generates 255 calls just in the southwest part of town within 30 days. From January, February, March 12th to April 11th, 255 calls. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. Okay? And all we do, and this one is just, these numbers are connected to this one map location, and all we're doing, and we're only showing up in this part of town, number 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Now, I'm not gonna keep showing like every little thing and like every phone number and every result, but that's 200, over 200 calls just from this portion of town. You can imagine the calls we get from over here, and we are also starting to rank in Dallas as well, right? So that's the ultimate goal, is to start dominating the whole DFW. But this is the original map listing, and these are the calls that are associated to that map listing. Okay, but that's just the power of setting up these GMBs where you want to rank. Okay, so back over here, back to yours, you're only getting calls in your city based off of Google search in one particular area, right? You're number 2, and down here it says 15, which means you're number 15, which means if I were to do that search in your city, I would have to click on view all. That's just if the top 3 people didn't answer the phone. And you would be number 15, which means there's 14 businesses stacked on top of you. So they would have to call 14 businesses before they called you. That's what that means. Or 20, or who knows, however much more, right? So with that said, I hope this was pretty informational. You're like, this guy is full of shit, maybe, but it works, and this is what I do, and I do it for a lot of other people. See, floor coating. It's like, look for floor coating contractors in this city, which is Louisville, Lou, Louisville, Kentucky. You want to rank for every service. So when it comes to floor coating, you got these top 3 dogs, right? Dynasty, Louisville Concrete. What other services do you have? Fox Finishing. Let's look for Fox Finishing. You got these guys, Fox Finishing. But you want to rank. You really want to start ranking for these different keywords, right? Yeah, I don't see you on here. So yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding anything I just said, feel free to reach out. I'm just reaching out to you because I know that you're trying. You're trying. And I like people who try, right? You're putting money into this email campaigns, but what I just showed you will be way like 100 times more effective. Set up that map listing, set up shop, create another page for, Fort Worth, set up another location page for Dallas or Grand Prairie and every town that you guys are trying to generate these leads and these calls from. Okay? Thanks.